Hey guys, we're live from GDC. We've been doing presentations for the last few days. My throat's getting a little hoarse, but we've been showing Conan Exiles, talking about what we're planning to do for the future. And we didn't think it was fair that the press were the only ones who get to see this, so we've been making this video for you guys as well.
That's really nice. Isn't that nice? Like, you can read the update notes yourself, which tells you everything, except a few tiny details. But I like that he went out of his way to do this. It's really nice. This is the lead dev, by the way, in case you didn't know. This is like the man.
So, Xbox One, got a lot of questions about this. Launching game preview, Q3 2017. Followed up by PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, full launch, Q1 2018. So a lot of people have been asking questions about how long we're going to be in early access. When's the Xbox version coming?
No early access for PS4.
Are we going to PlayStation 4? Hopefully this answers all of those questions. Cool. So let's talk about how we're going to work our way through early access. First of all, regular patches. Every 1 to 2 weeks, on a Thursday, hopefully, we'll be patching with fixes and improvements. Small content like new recipes, content like new emotes.
He did just say new emotes.
Small things that we can fit into patches that happen every 1 to 2 weeks. Beyond that, we'll be bundling content into larger game updates. Game updates contain more significant things like features that are bundled together with large amounts of content to make the entire update make sense. It's all thematic. Finally, major releases. These are more technical releases. The Xbox One, the new biome, PlayStation 4, and of course the full launch of the game on all platforms.
So basically, they're going to be pushing out improvement and optimization updates every 1 or 2 weeks, which is good. They're going to be putting out updates with actual stuff in them, new items probably. That will probably be the majority of it. Maybe some random new enemies, new little microbiome sets of enemies, that kind of stuff. This will also be where they put in the I don't think he mentions it in this, but in another post update, what have you, they stress. Oh, it's in the financial thing, the financial quarterly report that I'll link below. They have identified as a company that you can do a lot with a little. That there are certain bugs and certain just tweaks that people will be screaming at devs for years wanting. I'm not going to bother referencing any other game. It's irrelevant. But the point being, like, that in certain games, you know, they'll identify, like, hey, if we just spend 1 day and have an artist add in 12 new hair colors, you know, that's a big get, right? That's a big improvement. It takes little effort, so it's return on investment of dev time. So those will be in there too. They focus on that kind of stuff, so that's great. Major releases, new biome, right? So that Highlands one you're going to see in a few minutes here. It's going to be good because this map that we have here is not the world for the rest of time. It's going to expand. They're already, you know, that Highlands one I think is actually close to coming to showing up on live alpha live. So that'd be cool. But a tiered strat, and this communication is great. This is what you want.
So that's kind of our plan for what we're going to be doing in early access. But let's talk about the actual updates that are coming in the game updates. I want to reiterate something first, though, before we move forward. Funcom plans to reinvest an additional $5 to $10 million into the game during the early access period. We're definitely committed to making sure that this game is a huge success when we launch next year in Q1.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. In game dev terms, that is for a survival game like this. That is a lot of money. What you can see in the financial report, again, link below, is that they have already met their target sell point in a month and a half, right? That they didn't expect to make this much money and sell this many copies for a year. They're 10 months ahead of schedule. The game has already sold 500,000 copies. All right, so buckle up, guys, because this game ain't going nowhere. And they know they have a winner on their hands. They know they have a home run, tying a universe that makes so much sense in a sandbox setting, Conan, to the survival genre, which is just hot, hot, hot. Everybody loves it. Rust is consistently in the top Rust and Ark are consistently in the top 5 most played games on Steam. Concurrent users. Like, survival games are big. Everyone loves these kind of things. So, Funcom, and they've been, kind of losing money on Secret World and such. They've been looking around hoping for a hit, and they found it. They know they have a hit here. They got the dude making the soundtrack who made Age of Conan's soundtrack. They know they have a winner here. They're going to pump money into it. This game is going to be good. So stay with me, because I'm not going anywhere either. We're going to have a good time.
Major updates. So let's talk about what's coming. The first major update will be Siege Warfare. Trebuchet, Siege Towers, Avatar Defense, and Corpse Locker, which I'm going to talk about all of these a little bit. Trebuchet, we got a video for you, we're going to show you that. But Siege Towers, you know how foundations work in the game right now? You place out a foundation, you can build upon it. Siege Towers are going to be mobile foundations, something you can place on the ground with wheels, then build on it in whichever shape you like. You can craft your own unique shaped Siege Tower, Trojan horses, whatever you feel like. And then you'll be able to push that around the playfield with your friends in order to attack enemy bases. A lot of players have been asking us for Avatar Defense. That is defense against the giant god avatars that stalk the world. And we've cooked up a system that allows you to basically place out a protective shield around your city, which means that you'll have to decide which god you want to defend against. So there's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors gameplay element there. You'll have to know which god your enemies worship, and which one they're going to be bringing to the party.
So that's going to be great. Particularly since they said, later on in the video, or he says, they're going to be adding more gods. And there are, 12 races in Character Select already? So, and it's not like they can only be tied to one race as well. And there are cult gods too. They're kind of like minor deities, compared to the big three, the big ones. Crom, Mitra, Set. Yeah, this is going to be a big part of it. This is tying into what they've been trying to get in their games for a long time, which is clan warfare. I'm going to include a video later on, and you're going to see the clan war zone from Age of Conan, the MMO they make. That is still live, and it's still cool. But they've wanted for a long time to tap into the Dark Age of Camelot crowd, in exactly the same way. Most games are trying to do this now. Hell, even Warcraft with their Draenor, the Warlords, all that shit. Everyone wants to get that clan war stuff going. Ark, Ark does it too. Raids between clans, guilds, whatever the hell they're called on there. And a rock, paper, scissors way is a great way to do it because then it forces people to make alliances. It's going to be great.
Finally, the Corpse Locker.
The Corpse Locker. So you see the sketch? It's a fermenting pool. He's going to explain it in a second, but I'm just so excited to go Genghis Khan and fling plague around. This is crazy.
This is one of those interesting and unique mechanics that sandbox games allow us to make. You'll be able to capture enemies, kill them, drag their corpses into a locker, and then that locker over time, their corpses will rot, and then you'll be able to put those corpses into the trebuchet and fire them over the walls of your enemy cities in order to spread disease and pestilence in the streets. We think that's a pretty cool idea.
It is a pretty cool idea.
The next major update will be the Purge.
This is coming soon. This is what you need. If you're not building a wall around your emplacement right now, you're behind the eight ball. Because this shit's going to be live who knows when. But soon. He said, like, soon. And every update, the written version, everything. This is what's coming out very soon. Purge. It's going to be just raids. Just Mongol hordes running in and raiding your shit.
The Purge is Funcom's approach to the endgame solution in survival games. Basically, NPC armies will gather at the edges of the area, and they'll start to gain strength. And over time, they'll attack player bases, player buildings. And the idea is, of course, on a PvE server, you want to build up defense against them. On a PvP server, you might want to try and trick them into attacking an enemy base.
See, what does that even mean? That's intriguing. Trick them. How can you trick them? Do you, like, funnel them just like water? Like, because I'm assuming they'll have some kind of built-in, their AI, will make them like a moth to a flame. Like, any walls they see will instantly make them, they'll just want to knock down any wall. So how do you funnel them? You can't place natural stuff. You can't place rocks and stuff. Are we going to be able to interact with them, to negotiate with them? What does that mean? Trick them into attacking your enemies. Maybe kite them over there? We'll see. But that's intriguing. I want to know what's kicking around this guy's head, man.
Or attacking your enemies. But there's an additional element to the Purge that we think is kind of interesting. Taking out part of the Conan lore, people will be riding with the Purge, legendary villains and heroes from the Conan stories.
That's nice. I missed that. When I watched this earlier, I didn't pick up on that. That's excellent. The lore in this game is so rich, so deep. I'm gonna start doing a lore series perhaps or something. But there's a lot to tap into.
And you'll be able to capture them and turn them into NPCs that work for you using the thrall system. So the idea is to facilitate the sort of defensive and aggressive gameplay. First, defending your base from the Purge, but also going out and hunting down legendary NPCs, recipes, and items from the Purge.
Legendary recipes and items from the Purge. That's tempting. That sounds fun. This is going to be good.
A lot of questions about this one, the mount system.
Look at that horse. That's beautiful. That's a great model. And the camel, too? Camels are awesome. I'm excited.
We'll be adding mounts to the game, and we want to make sure that taming mounts is not a tedious process in any way. So the idea is, you go out, you find mounts, you lasso horses, you knock them out, you can drag them back to your base, just like a thrall. But we wanted to add a few multiplayer elements to this, so if you want to capture a rhinoceros, for example, you're going to have to bring some friends. You need 5 or 6 people dragging that beast across the wasteland, bringing them back to your animal pen to be tamed, to be used in battle later on. Every mount will have their own unique role in the game. Camels, for example, are going to be inventoried. Pardon me. Camels, for example, are going to be inventories that you bring with you, load them up with stuff, and then ride them back to your base.
Hooray! Man, I'm tired of putting points in encumbrance, I tell you what. So, yeah, a pack mule, in effect, the camels, that's good. That's good to hear.
Horses are going to be focused on mounted combat.
Mounted combat.
Use lances to just fight your friends, fight from horseback, fight your enemies. And rhinoceroses and elephants, they'll be siege mounts. They'll be for knocking down enemy walls and taking control of enemy cities. Let's talk about sorcery.
Yeah, let's. So, I'm going to put in here, I'm going to overlay a video of something in the background. This is sorcery back in Age of Conan, the MMO they made. Alright, so this is 10 years ago. You see how awesome this is. So let me blow this photo up here of this guy. This is clearly a priest of Set. Set, the snake god. Set, highly featured in Conan the Barbarian. Snakes are a big deal in this game. You're going to be able to make snake arrows. I think if we can already, I think we can. I haven't actually done any of the Avatar stuff, priest stuff, but so sorcery in this game is it's again, this is low fantasy. It's never going to be people running around flinging fireballs and shit. Magic is a slow and dangerous and scary process. It's not something that just anybody has. It's powerful. It's a big deal.
Sorcery is, in the Conan universe, sorcerers are always the bad guys. And in our game, we wanted to facilitate that type of gameplay, but we wanted to make sure we captured the spirit of the Conan stories. So we have a corruption mechanic in the game right now. The more time you spend in the dark and evil places of the world, the more corrupted you become, the more sickly and twisted, the less health you have, the less strength you have, the more your statistics go down, the more squishy you become. So in order to use the sorcery system in our game, you're going to first have to become very corrupted. And then you'll gain access to summoning rituals. You'll be able to call upon demons to do your bidding. You'll be able to shapeshift and take the form of demons. You'll be able to craft unique magical items using the sorcery system. And of course, necromancy, which is a favorite of mine, is the ability to replace your human thralls with skeletal thralls. You'll be able to kill things, bring them back from the dead, and then make their skeletons go to work for you.
So we're going to be able to Army of Darkness this. We're going to be able to have skeletal archers lining our walls and stuff. That's going to be awesome. This all sounds incredible. Taking corruption upon yourself. You get to make a choice. Physical or magic. But to magic, you got it's all the way. I don't know that you'll be able to halfway do magic. You'll just be screwed, you know? You take too much corruption, you lose all your health and toughness and you'll only have half powerful magic. If you want to do sorcery, you got to go the distance, man. But it sounds like they're making it rewarding. You'll be able to craft unique weapons and shapeshift and all kinds of shit.
The settlement system. We took some elements of Civilization, we took some elements of Sims, we put them in a blender, and we came up with the settlement system. The idea is that players will have full control of Thrall AI within the game, which means that you'll be able to set Thralls to do different tasks, and you'll be able to control those tasks. So for example, you might have a Thrall who opens the city gates when he sees you approaching and closes them when you've entered the city. You might have a Thrall who blows a horn when they see an enemy approaching the city. You might have a Thrall who goes around every day, turning your lights off in the morning and setting them alight every night. You might have Thralls who know where to go on the guard towers and know which patrols to walk along. So the idea is to create a living, breathing city environment through the settlement system, in particular Thrall scheduling. But above and beyond that, we want buildings to support the system. So the idea is to create, taverns where people put their dancers and they get an extra boost by having a tavern building where people can go to relax and remove their corruption. We also want to do things like roads, which give you a speed boost when you move along them. And of course, we consider this a natural conflict point, because if you're building roads between bases, you're going to be traveling along them, and then your enemies in PvP will know where to find you when they want to. So, we're hoping the settlement system brings an element of life and dynamic AI to the world.
There was a lot there. This guy's got a lot of ideas. I mean, they always have lots of ideas, right? But again, like I said, Funcom is all in on this game. So they're gonna unchain this dude. Unchained. And they're gonna let him do what he wants to do. And this friggin' Aussie has ideas, man. Like, he really wants to flesh out the siege and clan, inter-clan warfare. It's gonna be like pre-apoc Mad Max kind of stuff, setting up choke points on roads and whatnot, roads between bases. And so trading. It's the last thing up there, last comma, but he didn't mention it. So what does that even mean? You're gonna be able to set up you'll be able to set maybe political statuses with different clans. You'll be able to be neutral with some, and friendly with some, and hostile with some, and you'll be able to trade and tax and tariff and all that kind of stuff. Barracks and thrall schedules and farming, setting all these little chores for your thralls. You're going to have an office manager. You're going to have a little thrall city manager specialist in your clan. Someone who just makes sure everyone's on task and on point and doing stuff. Patrols, instead of just stand here and guard. Bars, where, area effect buildings, where you go in the bar and you'll get a special bonus to even more quickly reduced corruption. He's thinking about a lot of stuff. And I'm telling you, they just made... I can't stress this enough. They made their financial 1-year goal in 2 months. So, this game is going to... and they sold 500,000 copies. So the player base is already there and already ready. This is going to be big. Of course, not everybody wants to play the game in the desert, so... This is introducing our first new biome, the Highland biome. The Highland biome comprises of, obviously, highlands. It's very much the Sumerian type area and the Vanaheim type area of the Age of Conan franchise, the Conan franchise. So, snowy mountains, scrubby highlands. We'll be adding a temperature system to the game, which means that you'll need to wear warm clothing when you want to go into the snow areas. It means that you want to wear cooler clothing when you're back in the desert. And of course, every new biome comes with things like new factions, new creatures, new areas to explore, new points of interest, and new religions with new gods to follow, and new avatars to learn to control. What can I even say? It's so... Look at it. If you played Age of Conan and you know how it was the first time you went to the Sumerian Zone, and you walk down that path, and then the whole little valley opens up before you, it is breathtaking. And this looks like it's on a slope. It practically looks like that, So they know how to do this environment very well. I'm incredibly excited for this. So that's a quick look at the longer term yearly updates that we're going to be doing through the launch of Conan Exiles. But I wanted to show you what's coming very, very soon for the game. So let's have a look at what's coming
in the next month. So, the very first thing that I want to talk about is the dying system. As you know, we have quite a bit of character customization and character creation in the game, but we wanted to bring that level of customization to players' personal effects, armor, weapons, and items. So the idea is, players will be able to collect flowers from plants, blood from enemies, mix them together in the alchemy system, and come up with different dyes that they can then use to dye the different clothing parts that they have. So, as you can see here, the player is dyeing, changing the colours of their clothes dynamically, and then you'll be able to wear that and look like that in the game. It'll be saved on your character.
I absolutely love this. I play a lot of Warframe and fashion, and this is the end game in Warframe, and everyone making themselves look as cool as possible. There you got 4 regions just on his chest piece. Every piece has, it's not just one color, you can mix and match. And this is just in their preview. This can get really deep, and it can get really, really satisfying as more and more items are added. This is bigger than you would think. Particularly with the clan aspect, this is bigger than you think. This is really, really huge. And really easy for them to implement and expand.
And, of course, this is great for clans, because clans will then be able to create their color code, their uniform, which other clans don't have, which they'll be able to use in battle to identify their friends over their foes. And of course it creates the meta where the foes start trying to copy the colours in order to infiltrate their enemies. Next up, we have the siege weapons. So one of our first updates is going to be the trebuchet, and I want to talk a little bit about our philosophy behind the trebuchet. First of all, the trebuchet is placed on a rotatable base, and you have to build it up in several parts, and those parts are very heavy, needing you to either make several trips or several people to carry them. Then the operation of the trebuchet requires that people work together to aim the trebuchet, to reset the trebuchet, and to pull the lever which fires the trebuchet. And players will, you can do it on your own, you can definitely do it solo. You'll be much more efficient with a 3-man team working the trebuchet. As you can see, we've just fired, we've completely missed. And that's because the trebuchet has an additional mechanic. We've added a counterweight mechanic. Players will need to range find on the trebuchet by adding the appropriate amount of weight to the counterweight system of the trebuchet. Which means that once you've done that, you set it up, you're able to fire it, and hopefully figure out where the enemy base is and how far you need to fire to hit the enemy base. And of course this gives players the opportunity in PvP to come down and attack the trebuchet before they manage to range fire, and it gives people this ability to cause conflict.
Oh.
And as you see here, we have fully destructible walls, but marketing of course tuned this up a little bit, so in the real game it'll take more than one stone to smash down walls, trust us. Finally,
oh my god, this is the big stuff. This is rather what I'm most excited
Conan Exiles. We always talk about the game as being an intersection between something like Ark and Skyrim.
Alright, so you hear that? That's his vision. The intersection between Ark and Skyrim. Open world single player with lots of interactions. Plus Ark. Taming, clan warfare, survival, weather systems, like survival. So, but Skyrim part, what does that mean? That means more NPCs. Way more NPCs are going to get dropped in. It's already talked about in the raids that are coming in the beginning. What do you call that? I can't remember. But the groups that are coming in, he said specifically named NPCs from lore, from the books. They're all going to get put in. Like, there's going to be a lot more quests. The world right now that we are playing is literally just sandbox. All sorts of stuff is going to get put in.
And the dungeons that we're going to add to the game really bring home that philosophy. These are places where players will be able to enter. There are resources available. So, for example, if you see the white fires here, these are phosphorus fires, which players can then harvest to gain phosphorus, which then they can use to create new and unique items like torches that burn underwater. And we expect players to get into a bit of conflict over these resource nodes because they're going to be rare and only found in certain dungeons.
So it's a dungeon, but the primary goal is control of resources. I'm sure there will be a storyline, in these, but again, it ties back to the clan warfare. Phosphorus, as he's saying, only spawns here. And you can make underwater torches and who knows what else. Phosphorus is some sticky, burny stuff. It is powerful. Willy Pete is not nice. And if we can make Willy Pete bombs in the siege, that will definitely if you like, they start adding a burning mechanic to buildings. That's the obvious. Like, where else would they go with that? But warring over nodes, control over nodes like this. This is all like back to the essence of MMOs. This is like EverQuest 1 stuff. This is like FF11 kind of stuff, you know? Waiting on, you know, things that only spawn once every 18 hours, that kind of shit. Old school. That's cool, because that was always really fun. Like, it's a pain in the ass, but a good server can cater to scheduling needs and can have a lot of fun.
The idea, of course, is also to create a little bit of a scripted experience here, so players are able to explore, they'll be able to pick up lore pieces, they'll be able to get story and background to what's going on. This is a lived-in world, this is the Conan universe. And as they do that, they'll be able to also access things like puzzles, you'll be able to turn dials, flood the dungeon in order to reach the upper levels. And part of that ties back into the player conflict, because you might be able to flood the dungeon while your enemies are inside, and of course, then they'll drown, which is not fun.
And there we have it, guys. Big Snake is coming. This is not without precedent. If you've seen Conan the Barbarian, and you have recently, right? This is in the movie. This is a part of the snakes are a huge part of Conan. They just are. So it all ties together. It's a really fun universe. I encourage everyone to get into it. It's really great. So much is going on here. This has me incredibly excited. And this is just, they're taking such a great tiered approach here, constant optimization pushes, semi-frequent new item drops, new palettes, that kind of stuff, quick drops that go a long way, with probably, quarterly 3 or 4 drops of major updates, mounted combat, new biome, stuff like that. It's going to be a good year. My God, by the time release rolls around, it's going to be incredible. Yeah, so that's it for this update. I would like to put out here, though, that I am going to be running a Conan server. It will be dedicated and running this, and Arc possibly too, but basically it's got 16 gigs of RAM and 2 quad-core CPUs, and it's really not doing anything else. This machine is just going to be running Conan, basically. The Arc is, probably not even going to be running on it. But what I'm thinking is hosting 20 players. We'll see how it goes. I actually have a really good internet connection here. I have 25 meg upload. So, a dedicated machine with a solid pipe. So, if you have any interest... Oh, also, what I'm going to do is we will kind of democratically decide what configs we want, and we definitely will tweak it. And I will also... It's going to be PvE, but we'll have dedicated rating hours. They give you that option, and I like that option, because I don't like the whole, rating while you're getting fucked while you're sleeping. That's lame, right? Nobody likes that. So we'll have some dedicated hour, maybe we'll work it out, but we'll have a dedicated hour or 2 per night where it's on, have your head on a swivel because you might be getting raided, and it'll be a lot of fun. So if you would like to be a part of this server, put an application down in the comments below. Tell me why you want to play, how you would like to play, and we'll get this going. We'll get it set up. I want to get a community going, and it'll be a lot of fun. Come join me, and we will have a blast. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like or dislike if you did or didn't. Subscribe if you want to see more Conan footage, and have a great day.